There's a question that I used to ask all the time. I used to ask it to myself. How do you know when it's God talking to you? Now, luckily, we have Christians out here who don't try to tweak the Bible for their liking and for their followers and for their pockets. And they actually explain the Bible to you in layman's terms so that you can understand it. And me speaking with the people I've spoken with actually understand now. You know, everybody has a conscience. Everybody has a voice in their head that talks to them, right? God is never going to tell you to do anything bad. Anything that is not of God, that the voices in your head are telling you to do, that's the devil. Plain and simple, it's the devil. What will God tell you to do? You cannot control the circumstances that are placed in front of you at birth, in your childhood. Heck, as an adult, there's still some circumstances that you cannot control. But what you can control is how you react to them. What place do you take? What is your character? What drives you? What is the content of your character? So let's say something simple. Let me just do something real simple. Let's say you work at a gas station, right? And a lady comes in rushing. You know nothing about her life. She wants to pay $20 for gas, but she accidentally hands you two 20s. She don't know she handed you two 20s. They're crisp. They're still stuck together. She just walks out. Okay, what would you do? Now, the godly thing to do would be to separate the 20s and yell, "Hey," as she's walking out, or "Ma'am," or even walk from behind the desk and follow her if she's already outside. "Ma'am, you overpaid. You gave me two 20s. And then at that moment, she can decide if she's like, "Oh, my bad," and she takes the 20 back, or if she's like, "I did that on purpose," and you keep it as a tip. But to just assume that it was a tip, God didn't tell you to do that. God will never tell you to do anything like that because, plot twist, let's say she's a single mother who is literally living off of crumbs and government assistance. Everybody already knows if you're getting paid less than $20 an hour, you're not getting a livable wage. $20 an hour is still barely even a livable wage, let's be real. But anyways, if you have kids on top of only getting paid like $15 to $17 an hour, shoot, some people are still getting paid $8 an hour having kids. Every dollar counts. $20 is important. So to just assume that she didn't need that 20, that's not something God would have told you to do. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Let's say that your friends are offering you to go out to the club, like real tough. Let's go drink, let's go do this, let's go do that. You know there ain't no God in the club. You know the only God you're going to find in the club is the God of the underworld, Satan. If you go to the club anyways, that's not something that God wants you to do. Now, does God still love you? Yes. Will God still cover you? Most definitely, especially if you love the Lord and you know the Lord and you talk to the Lord. Now, trusting God does not mean you're always going to make the right decisions. But what it means is, as you're making those bad decisions, you're talking to God to get clarity and to get understanding, and so that you can wind up elevating your mind to not want to make those type of decisions anymore. Are you thinking as you're going to the club, "Ooh, yeah, I'm about to go follow the devil"? Nobody thinks that. If you do think that, you're crazy. You're just thinking, this is innocent fun. I'm going to go have fun. What's in the clubs? Alcohol. A very heavy amount of alcohol. That's the quickest way to get attached to the devil. Once you drink alcohol, you're allowing demons into your body. Whether you believe it or not, it's been proven. When you drink alcohol, you are no longer yourself. You are now in a drunken stupor to the point that anything from the spiritual realm can get inside of you, and it ain't about to be the Holy Ghost. That's why you wind up making choices you wouldn't make. That's why you wind up sleeping with people you wouldn't sleep with. That's why you wind up fighting when you know that you aren't even a fighter, or you didn't even go to that club to fight. You wind up doing a lot of things that you didn't plan on doing, or you wind up just being extra sad and calling a guy that you were already over, or a girl that you know you got no business calling, or getting into it with family members, or getting into it with friends. Like, something that you wouldn't have done when you were sober because you let the devil in. If you did that and you didn't understand that's what you were doing, it's okay. God understands that when you are in your worldly flesh, you are going to have worldly tendencies. You're going to have worldly fantasies, and you're going to play into them. It's so easy to play into the world. What is not easy to do is surrender to God, because when you surrender to God, that means, Lord, everything that I learned, everything that I was taught, everything that I am, none of it is like you, so I want you to take it away from me. I want the old me to die. I want that old music that I used to listen to, that I knew every single word to, that I used to pop it to. I want all of that to go out of my head. I want you to play a Megan Thee Stallion song and I don't remember none of the words. She's a beautiful young lady, but she's out here giving us a fantasy. She's not one of these girls that's out here sleeping with multiple men for money. She's a domesticated woman. She's a college woman. She graduated from college. She's a business owner. But being a business owner and being a smart college woman, you understand how the media works. And you know that if you portray yourself as a whore in the media, you're going to get a lot of following, especially from young people, because young people are the easiest to manipulate. And she understands that. 25 years old, and she understands mass manipulation. That woman is very smart. But she don't do the stuff that's in her music. I've actually watched interviews with her saying that if she does sleep with men, it'll be men that she's already been with, because she doesn't want to raise her body count. She will go pull out an ex from 10 years ago and sleep with him before she just finds a random dude to sleep with. But in her song, she talks about sleeping with men who have money. She also said that she doesn't even fight. She's too pretty to fight. But in her songs, she's telling y'all to fight. I don't just want to jump on her because I think she's a very beautiful and brilliant woman, but she's definitely in the music industry for the wrong reasons. She's in there to be manipulating you on a mass stage. I could say the same thing about Beyonce, but I don't want the Beehive to get on me because I was once a part of the Beehive. I love her as a person, but once I realized exactly what she was doing, I can't respect that. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. I can't respect that. I don't have a personal vendetta against her. She is very talented. I just honestly wish that she would use her talents and her billions of dollars and her multi-billion fan base platform to provoke change in the world instead of to provoke fighting, to provoke drinking, to promote anger, to promote cheating, to promote all of the evil, devilish things that she promotes. I just wish that, she's past the needing to do certain things just to get famous. You famous, babe. They call the internet Beyonce's internet. I've been a fan of you since I was like 5 years old and you were 16. Like, you're there. There's not one person who will publicly speak bad about you. So can we start invoking change? Like your husband does? Can we start doing that? But anyways, God won't tell you to do anything bad. He won't. God loves you enough to walk with you through anything, but you have to ask him to. It's the same thing with a parent or a cousin or an uncle. Like, you can't expect someone to just know that you want their help, because a lot of people understand that if they try and help someone who is not ready, that person will be angry with them. That person will try to fight them. That person will banish them from their life. I was in abusive relationships and I pushed a lot of people away who tried to pull me out because I didn't believe that they really cared. I didn't believe that their way was going to actually work. I didn't believe that seeking help was actually going to help me, because I was so entangled in the situation that I knew what to expect every day. He gonna threaten to hurt me. He gonna probably pull a gun out of me. He's gonna probably push me down to the ground and punch me. He gonna probably hold me down and make me do stuff I don't want to do. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have sex. We're gonna listen to some gangster music. We might go a couple places and I have to sit in the car while he does whatever he feels like doing. We're going to argue. I'm going to have to be quiet because if I say something he don't like, he going to smack me or punch me. Like, I knew how every day was going to go. And by the end of the night, he's ready to have sex and he's going to take money out of my purse and take my car and be gone all night until the next day. I knew what to expect. I didn't think there was a way out because this was my cycle. I go to work. I get off work. I deal with my kids. But as I'm doing this, I'm dealing with angry text messages or lovey-dovey text messages, and then when I get home, I'm dealing with him either flying off the top of the handle or him being extra lovey just so he can get some money. Like, I knew what to expect. I didn't know which extreme to expect that day, but I knew that it could either be extremely violent or extremely loving. There was no in the middle. We never could just coexist. We either were 100% bumping heads or we were distant from each other. There was no in between. And I knew what to expect, but I never knew when I was gonna wind up being unalived. I never knew when he was gonna actually take it there, because he pulled guns on me, aimed them at my face, at my back, at my stomach when I was pregnant, pushed me down. He threatened me all the time. He broke my jaw. So when he finally broke my ribs, I had enough. We had 4 children. One was not his biologically, but he'd been in her life since she was 6 months old. So we had 3 children together, but 4 children in the household. And he stumped me and broke my ribs right in front of my kids. I finally had enough. That week was really hard for me. It was the week of September 3rd. September 3rd last year, 2021, was the day I actually left him. Like, my mom called the police because I told her what happened. But we basically went through a series of arguments over nothing that whole week. The first argument was he used my phone to take photos, I guess take photos of something on his phone, a conversation, because if you screenshot Snapchat, it tells the person you screenshotted it. So he used my phone to take pictures of Snapchat messages, right? And then he deletes it. But I have an iPhone. He doesn't, so he don't understand how iPhones work. I still can see things you delete unless I go and permanently delete it. So anyways, I was going through my deleted pictures and he comes behind me and sees that I was reading these messages, and it was messages from him and another woman. And anyways, he gets mad and he snatches my phone and throws it, and he tells me that when he comes back home, he's gonna beat my ASS. And I was like, you're gonna beat me for looking through my own phone? And he's like going off on me, telling me I should have minded my own business and that I'm gonna regret it. He comes back home hours later, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking he done forgot about it because it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I done forgot about it. I'm high, extremely high. I used to get high, weed all the time, just to be able to deal with my life. He was that abusive that if I didn't smoke at least 5 blunts a day, I wanted to unalive myself. I hated being around him. But anyways, he comes home and he's like being all lovey-dovey. He wants to have sex. So, okay, you're my boyfriend, even though I know you've probably been out being dirty like you do. I don't sleep with nobody else. We got a 2-month-old baby, so I haven't had sex, so whatever. So, mind you, I just had a C-section like 6 weeks before this encounter I'm about to tell y'all about. So anyways, we start having sex and he's begging me to do anal. And I was like, you already know I don't do that. We've been together for almost 4 years and I tell you no every time. And he keeps begging and keeps begging and keeps begging, and I keep saying no. And then he just like slowly slides it and I'm like, that hurts. Can you stop? And then he shoves it and he's like, oh yeah, B, you thought I forgot about earlier? And I was like, what? Mind you, I just had a C-section, which means I'm still not healed down here, which means anything could rip me open again. And he starts choking me while he's behind me, which, I mean, if it was normal, then I wouldn't have cared about that. But at this point, this is rape. Long story short, he tells me, I'm either gonna continue what I'm doing, or I'm gonna beat your ass. You choose. Me being the reasonable person I am, I was just like, and I escaped my body. I mastered escapism a long time ago. If y'all go listen to my podcast on Spotify, you'll know what I'm talking about. I mastered escapism. So when he gave me that choice between him beating me or me letting him continue to force me to have anal, I just released and I escaped my body. I couldn't feel nothing. It reminds me of on the movie Precious, like every time somebody was doing something to Precious, in her head she was on the runway. That's what it reminded me of. I wasn't on the runway, but I wasn't there. I was in my head thinking about, what am I gonna make for dinner tomorrow? Yeah, that sounds good. I might make that. And then what clothes am I gonna put on the kids tomorrow? Like I was in my head talking to myself while he's cussing at me, calling me all out of my name, whatever that he thought he was doing. And when he was done, I said, "Are you done?" He said, "Yeah." So, mind you, he's not like normal size. Let's just start there. He's not normal size. So imagine that being shoved into something that you've never had anything in before. So anyways, I just walk in the bathroom. I do this real deep, quiet cry, like just a quiet cry. Wipe my face. I get a towel, a warm towel, wet it, wipe myself. It don't hurt right now because I still can't feel nothing. So I just go lay down in the bed. Mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. My kids are asleep in the other room, which is one of the reasons why I had to escape, because if I didn't escape, I would have been in there screaming, like brutally screaming. But so anyways, when I lay back in the bed, he starts looking sad and he's like, "What's wrong? I only said all that stuff so that I could enjoy it. I didn't mean nothing. I just said to you, come here." And I have my back turned towards him because my newborn baby is in her crib in my room right next to my bed. My other kids are in their room. I didn't want to wake my baby up, so I want to tell him how much I want to just grab his backpack and grab that Glock out of it. But I don't say nothing. I just lay there looking at my baby, and he just grabs my body and starts having normal sex with me. So that was the first thing that he did to me that week. The next morning, my body felt like I had a train wreck in my pants. It hurt really bad.